Gentlemen, it is a real pleasure to be with you this afternoon. I appreciate the time. Congratulations on a fantastic film.
Thank you.
This could actually be answered by any of you, but how proud are you guys with what you guys created with Raya and the Last Dragon, despite all the challenges that you guys faced in putting it together?
3,000. I'm proud. 3,000.
I love that you gave a number, a specific number you gave, like 3,000.
Yeah.
I'm more proud by 2 points than Don.
I am prouder than both of you together.
Suddenly got competitive. Competitive. No, I think look, we're for all the reasons, obviously this project had its specific difficulties, but despite all of that, I think we've crafted something that it's the most beautiful film on so many levels. I think in terms of animation and the look of the film, it's one of the best we've done in terms of, in our opinion, and we're just incredibly proud of it and can't wait for people to see it.
So part of what's really beautiful about it is the timing, I believe. Qui, I had a question for you. How long have you been working on this film and writing? Because it seems like it could not have came out at a better time.
Yeah, it's kind of uncanny that the messages of this movie is hitting at a time when I think that the world desperately needs just kind of a nice reminder of that we're better together than apart, that there's a value and there's a bravery in trusting people and building bridges to each other. Like when it comes to how long I've been working on it as long as Don Carlos, which has only been a year and a half. The movie's been in development for 6 years. We came on about a year and a half ago before the pandemic, and kind of crafted like the major theme that we were going to follow through, which was trust. And as we were building it, like we knew that was going to be an important message regardless, because we all important message regardless. But as each week and as the pandemic happened, it just became more and more relevant and more timely. So though we were trying to make a timeless movie, it ended up being one that was very topical. So we're very proud and very excited. 3002 more than
add another number to it. Obviously, this takes a lot of different aspects of South Asian cultures, Asian cultures. Can you guys each describe a piece of that culture that you guys wanted to make sure made the film?
There were a few. I mean, the cultures are so rich and so beautiful that I think we were inspired by so many aspects of it. I think two that come to mind, or three that come to mind. The first one is the sense of community. The fact that there's so many cultures in Southeast Asia, so many nations, but there exists like this feeling of togetherness between them. They also like belong to this region and are very proud of it, and I think that is very special. The second is the great deal of respect that they have to sort of like their spiritual lives and their deities, and obviously this relationship is exemplified with Raya and Sisu. And I think the third is food, just because food became a symbol of trust. It became a symbol of togetherness, and it's very important in Southeast Asia, as it is, every culture. So we wanted to make sure that we could tell our story through food as well as through our character's journey. So you'll see Raya when she starts her journey as an adult. She is eating this self-cooked what's the jackfruit jerky that she makes herself, and doesn't want to eat with anyone or anyone else's food because she doesn't really trust anyone. And then she starts meeting characters. Boone offers her food. Noi and the Ongis have to steal because they have nothing to eat. Kang eventually cooks with them. So it's really we really get to experience the journey of our characters through food, and we thought that was so beautiful and so profound.
So I've never gotten to talk to a creative team behind a Disney film yet. How is it that you guys are always able to come put together these great supporting characters, especially the ones that travel with the hero? They're so memorable. I mean, Boone, Noi, Tang in this case, Tong, sorry. How do you guys approach that?
Well, I don't know if there's a prescriptive way. I think for this film in particular, every character had to kind of fall into the thematic of trust and just making sure that, if there was one sort of uber kind of operating ideal, it was that they not be, at least on the surface, as helpful to Raya's quest as she may want. So, for instance, there was a lesson I learned on Moana where, originally there were two sidekick characters with Moana. There was this pig named Pua and this chicken named Hehe. And Pua was actually kind of a helpful character. He was Moana's friend, and he was there for support and really, was there for her. And so we wrote him out of the movie, and we'd rather have her partnered up with the dumb chicken that actually wasn't helpful at all, because it just makes it harder for your main character to progress through the story. And I think that was probably, if there was any kind of uber idea, it was that, it was like, okay, she's trying to do something almost impossible, which is put all the gems, steal all these gems and put them back together, and which is a huge task. But when you give her a shrimp boat, 10-year-old shrimp boat captain, and a thieving baby with a bunch of kind of monkey characters, and then Tong is probably the only one that really makes sense. But just starting from that, you wanted it to be kind of a misfit group, and then find fun ways that they can actually be helpful.
Qui, I have a question for you, specific. Animated films, we see so many things being able to be seen that we can only see in our imaginations. Why was it so important in Raya and the Last Dragon to make sure that the martial arts stayed grounded?
Well, just thematically, like we had magical characters, right? Like if we did wire work kung fu, or we were doing something that had where they could shoot fireballs or dance on treetops, suddenly this magic dragon wouldn't feel that magical at all, right? So it was very important that the martial arts were grounded, so the magic stuff could feel very magical. But I think also just on a personal level, it was very important to me that we're celebrating Southeast Asian culture, which I'm part of. It was important that that we were celebrating those martial arts that came from there: Pinjak Salat, Arnis, traditional Vietnamese wrestling, Muay Thai. So that if kids love this movie, if they love the aesthetic of this movie, they could go out and study the martial arts that actually come from that region, because it's all real. And so that's why it was very important that the martial arts were grounded and realistic, and just very exciting to see.
Now, speaking of the dragon, can you guys talk about the development of the style of dragons? Because a lot of times dragons are universal. We see them in different cultures, portrayed in different ways. How did you guys approach this? And I gotta say, they look beautiful. I absolutely loved it.
Well, we've seen a lot of dragons in movies often, but it's a very specific kind of dragon. It's usually a Western dragon. It's usually a threatening dragon, aggressive, kind of like guarding a treasure. And we've never seen this kind of dragon, which is a water dragon. It's inspired by the Naga, which is a Southeast Asian.
Got a prop?
which is
doing prop comedy now.
What is happening here?
In Southeast Asia, and it's this dragon compared to others is a creature of inspiration. It's very divine. It's a creature of unity, and it's connected to water. So this is a water dragon, and that makes it very different. We wanted this movie to be a relationship between Raya and the Last Dragon, and we wanted this to be an intimate relationship. We wanted this to be almost like if you closed your eyes and didn't know that Cecil was a dragon, this would feel like two friends learning about each other and teaching each other a lesson. So I think that was really important, and we're very very proud of how it came together.
Wow. Thank you for that demo. I appreciate it. Don, Qui, Carlos, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Congratulations on a beautiful film. You have that thumbs up from a 32-year-old and a 10-year-old little girl.
Thank you so much. I love hearing that.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good one.